That heifer right there just don't even care.
Take yourself out.
That thing didn't on mic itself. Anyway,
Hey, try again.
action there. Hope everybody having a fine Sunday evening.
Hey, Miss Leona.
What do you say, Miss Leon? Pastor Larry, Miss Jan?
I didn't mean to cut you off.
You okay? It's all right. Seeing y'all got first this evening. Bam. Got in here for Miss Danae from DC and Grayson called it. Preacher said
Tim
not to.
starts off muted.
Yeah.
Talk about get the ball rolling, huh?
Well, I was trying to push buttons on something else a minute ago, and it just. But I got Joey's comment up there for everybody. That man said he had to go get him a slice of pizza.
Yeah.
And where'd it go? Yeah.
I don't know.
I got it put away somewhere in here somewhere. Emailed.
Emailed the pizza.
Got that baby right on up there, Mr. JW. But for some reason, while I'm pushing buttons, I'll show you. I started this, but for some reason it wouldn't let me show it. I don't know. It's just being cantankerous. But before we got too far in the chat, Miss Kimberly there, and we'll give everybody thanks for the prayers. She say for Paul and Amanda. Things are getting better.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. But like I say, hope everybody doing good. Y'all's cold weather has made it or shown its face.
Hey, Sarah. It's good to see you.
Miss Sarah?
That's what Minnesota Mike just said. Are y'all keeping warm?
No.
Yeah. That's over with. We got 3 heaters and sweaters and extra layers of clothes.
Yep.
And it's cold. It's very cold.
Well, I went on a rant the other day about the difference in long johns.
Mm.
And she had got me these. Well, I mean, one is warmer, the other one isn't as warm. Yeah. And I was begging and pleading, please, just have the warm ones for this. That way I can make it through and not freeze my tail end off so much. But we're about as ready as we're gonna get, I reckon. I'm gonna go, or we gotta go get some materials for where we're gonna be working down there at Gulf Shores before all this rain gets in here. And I was checking out some them heater tops you can put on top of them.
Dude, you crazy.
Propane tanks. So yeah.
He's talking about all he needs is a hoodie, and it's 7 degrees.
I don't think so, Bubba. That is cold.
It's 36 here, and I don't have enough layers on.
They talking about we're gonna have a wind chill here around the house. Mobile, it'll be a few degrees warmer, but up here at the house, they talking about like 7-8 degree wind chill for us.
But they're also talking about like 7 inches of snow for us too.
Yeah, quite a bit.
I am excited about that. See
how it goes there. Well, everybody piling in. You got war paint up. Where's Brian from Flower
Are
Tree?
you serious? Pastor Larry said they're hoping for some snow, but it looks like we have a better chance of snow than they do.
Oh, yeah?
He said it's looking like the Gulf Coast has a better chance of snow than we do.
That's crazy because what is that? In my mind, where my brain's at, I've always just assumed that people up there in them Smoky Mountains or any kind of mountain ranges like that
That's gonna be
Get
me
snow.
today. She said we're gonna see Tim in one of them snowsuits like on the Christmas story.
Oh, y'all bundled up. Y'all, that's it. Yes,
I'd be
ma'am.
running around like a Oompa Loompa.
Push me over in the yard, bounce down the hill.
Mm-hmm. Hey, that I bet we get some crazy amount of hits on that video.
Hey, don't you
You
worry.
game?
Yeah, I'm liable to drag out coveralls too. It done got to that point, kind of thing.
Yeah. I'm gonna be wearing every stitch of clothing I own.
But, yeah, we prepared, went and got some grub, I guess, to hibernate for a couple days. Then,
We got some grub.
yeah.
We bought one pack of meat and we spent $100 on junk food. It's like
Well,
two teenagers went hurricane food shopping.
we did get a couple ribeyes for the cold night.
Danae said 7 degrees is flip flop. Not down here, darling. 7 degrees. I mean, that's got to be the coldest I've felt down here.
Yeah, probably so.
Mm.
Y'all go on to get your time in. Go on to get to picking on us because summer's not too far away.
Yeah.
So
spring's not too far away. I'm not ready for summer yet.
Which it can be 95 degrees and 80% humidity in the spring.
Mr. Dan said we need a pair of Cabela's fleece lined work pants. That sounds pretty nice. Dad has some of those fleece lined jeans. He used to hunt in them all the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I bet you y'all go. Well, I mean, that's what them. Pardon me. That's what that one brand you got for me is that fleece stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
They said they were at -12 this morning.
Ooh, mercy. Yeah. But we'll talk about this too as we dive into. I got a little bit of conversation. Y'all want to get in, what have you? But y'all write this down and let's see. All right. If we get, I'm talking about us Gulf Coast people, where we don't, and from Texas all the way to Florida and parts of Georgia. Okay. We don't ever see any kind of snow like this coming in, like a large amount. I went back and looked, and I knew it was around 92, 93, but it was in 1993 that we had a snow in Mobile that was, I think, above 3 inches, and which is a huge deal for us down here.
Mm-hmm.
Well, seeing this one, they're talking about we may have levels above that. But we talked about this in conversation before. And you remember when we was at Brother Kim's and he was telling us about snow not having nitrogen in it kind of thing? All right, here's where I'm going with this, y'all. So since we rarely have a snow like that, and that snow's going to settle in that nitrogen on the ground, are we going to get that poor man's fertilizer this year and really have a huge honey crop?
John just popped in. He said, I remember the 93 snow. It was March 13th, and you played in it in a poncho.
Who did?
John P.
Oh, who in the world knows that?
He's thinking somebody's stalking him.
Yeah, that's right, John. Yes, sir. That's my old buddy there, John. Wow, we grew up together. Good man.
That name throws me off over here.
But yeah, sure was.
Oh, I called him Poncho. I thought it said Poncho. My bad. He's calling you Poncho.
Yeah,
Like
Poncho.
we played in it. Poncho. My bad, John.
Yeah, those some of the old names his daddy gave us kind of thing. Poncho or Poopsie. What you doing,
Yeah.
Poopsie? Yeah, good stuff. But
I bet you John just doubled over in his chair when you said that.
oh, he probably did. But
Oh, there you go. He's got a whole new name. Hacho Buttons Blake.
there we go. The PBB
Jabbo.
and Jabbo. Yep. I have to. Maybe we'll show them Jabbo. We get out there in the snow. We got us one now, so
Didn't we show him when we did the live sitting out there?
I don't think we had him then.
Yeah,
I don't think so.
I can't remember.
'Cause I think we found our Jabbo in the spring.
DC's favorite's Poopsie.
Poopsie. Oh yeah. His daddy called us that, called me that for just
Don't
even as
call
grown
him
men.
that, DC. He's already having complexes.
Oh, about my weight issues going on. She laughed at me because I couldn't hardly get over the dryer between the wall a while ago. She
I
looked at me and
laughed
just
at the
laughed
look
and
on
laughed and laughed.
his face.
Sure did.
You're not fat,
Yeah.
dear. Say it clear so he knows how to spell it, because that's what DC's calling you from now on. Poonsie.
Poonsie. I don't know how to spell it.
Like POONTSIE, maybe? Or TSY?
Something along those
I don't
lines.
know. We found it at the 4-way in Loosedale at the big yard sale they do on Wednesdays. They had like $85 on the tag, and Tim paid like $35 by the time it was over with.
I said, I'll take him off your hands right now, brother. Mm-hmm. This is if you knew the childhood memories I had with this statue Jabbo. Here, old Jabbo.
Yeah.
But
I couldn't even pick the thing up.
Now look, y'all see, we'll show it, but I was carrying him to the car like a toddler.
Yeah.
Set him in the back seat.
Picture of you in the parking lot with the thing.
I think I even buckled him up, John, on the way home.
Yeah, you're stuck with Poonsie.
Everybody loving it.
Even Mr. Dan's on board. Oh my word.
Yes. And it lives on now, John, through the internet.
It's gonna go and go and go.
Yep. But okay. Back to the snow thing real quick. What are you doing?
Lost it again.
Wherever it went to.
Really? Yeah.
I'm looking for the pen. There it is, right there. Anyway, you reckon we're gonna get a sure enough honey crop? I'm gonna keep my eyes out for it just to see, because it's kind of like a okay year from what we seen. Then everybody at the end was talking about, it was a productive year, but I have seen a few better years. But I'm just curious to see if there's a whole lot that's going to become of that. He said that it'd be hard. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. But what else to have in here? You want to get to the prayer list, bro? We dive off in anything news, because we're gonna chit chat a little bit. Got to see Mr. Russell.
It's kind of cool here. This is what we call cold down here, Mr. Russell.
Ooh. That's got
He said it's kind of cool here in Fort Morgan, almost like a day in April. Now, this is just about as cold as it gets.
This is cold, Mr. Russell.
This is.
Yes, sir. We just fixed to talk about
visiting
with y'all, but
Ziggy, not near as often as we'd like to, but he asked if we ever get to go fishing in the big water.
About the best place really to go if you want to go fish down here is go to Dolphin Island and fish off the pier there.
He was
Dolphin Island.
asking if we ever get to go.
Oh,
Not very often at all.
no.
It's been a long time.
And I'll tell you the reason why, because your best fishing usually is going to be at nighttime. And I'm not one for staying up until 2 o'clock in the morning anyway, then having to drive an hour back to the house. That's my only biggest hiccup.
We're old and boring now.
Yeah. Okay, that's right.
Here we go. All right, Mr. Mark, and he said he's on the road, rolling and listening tonight too. Ed and his family, the Dirt Rooster's dad, Mr. Pat, Miss Deb, Grammy Lisa's son and 2 granddaughters, Tom's wife and his mother-in-law, Mr. Donnie, Mike Tangway and his family, DC's parents, Emma Hoskins, baby Luca, and the family that lost their little one, Deanna Wheeler and her son Reed, Rachel Wilson, Rachel's sister Amanda and her niece Riley, Philip's mama, his friend BJ and his wife, Bobby's Bees and his family, Aaron Frederick, Mr. Larry and Miss Sherry Gandy, and Mr. Larry's mama, Keith Larimore, Billy Earl and his family, Steve Amos's brother and mother-in-law, all the war and storm victims, PJ Hanley, Stafford Mike, Ricky Rourke, 29 Homestead, Catherine's son and his family, all of our government officials, Mr. Randy's mother-in-law, Cece's Texas Garden, Miss Janae Wood, Miss Leona, Terry Chapman and his family, Kenneth and Chris Wilkinson. But Chris said his dad is doing better. They think the therapy's helping. So he's getting a little better. Ephraim Kalunga, Terry Berland, Redfish's wife, Miss Janet, Kimberly's daughter-in-law Amanda and her family. And like he said earlier, she said they were doing better too. Mr. Mark Miller's wife, Sarah and her family, Grammy's friend Deidre, Mr. Dan Weaver's niece and her family, that's in 2 different places. Okay. Not just PJ Hanley, but him and his whole family. The family of the beekeeper near Spanky that passed away. How did you say that? The beekeeper, the stream team? I don't really know what's you said it.
The one we mentioned last week, any beekeepers that are having issues of
Just
harm,
bad thoughts. Yeah.
bad thoughts and things like that. The stream team was mentioning real quick. Anybody that missed it, week before last was Greg was talking about meeting a gentleman that was
In a bad
place and gotten into bees, and it helped bring him up out of a dark place. So just keep folks like that in your prayer.
Okay. Our pastor's wife, Miss Jolene, she lost her mama last week. So remember their family. Baker's Bees, Brian's niece, Allie Baker. And then the new ones are, Lee sent us this and said Chris Medeiros has a friend named Jake, and they were asking for prayers for Jake and his wife. And then a very, very dear friend of ours, a preacher that comes to our church several times a year. But he was diagnosed this week with cancer in his kidney. And he's got a lot of like surgery and treatments coming up. But his name's Scotty McDowell. So if y'all would pray for him and his family,
Yes.
they really need it.
You talk about a servant of the Lord. That man is, ladies.
He's on a mission trip in India
right
now.
India right now.
When he found out.
Wonderful man of God. But pardon me. On another note, we got to congratulate PJ Hanlon and their bunch on the Book of Faces. It said, I believe Friday, they welcomed in a grandbaby. Now, let's see, that baby was 8 pounds and 4 ounces. And from what I gathered, Mom and the baby's doing well. So, congratulations, y'all, on that. But keep our folks on the prayer list in mind. There's definitely a lot of needs out there for people right now.
Yes.
What else was I getting? Let me get in the first topic. Moseying down to the Gulf of America, Philip. The first trip. We went last week. We had to go look at the condo work. After we got done with it, we went and visited with Mr. Russell Koopman and Miss Sharon Koopman. And spoiler alert, we got some video, but
not what we planned.
No. We got talking to them so much, I'm gonna be honest with you, I didn't even think to drag a camera out or ask them if they wanted to do a little spell or something like that, because we met at one place, shook hands, drove right down the road, went and got us some good grub, and got to talking to Mr. Russell, and
we just had a really good time.
Yes. And then Miss Sharon, they were sitting there sharing recipes and what have you, and talking back and forth, and Mr. Russell picking little pieces out of my brain, trying to figure out what my plan is in my head. Like I said in the live yesterday, I'm glad he was doing that, because I believe what the man was doing was trying to feel me out, see where we're trying to go, and help in ways that he already knows will work. And y'all, I could have sat there. Absolutely. Could have sat there all day with the man and listened to what he had to say in beekeeping. Then what Hannah was telling me on the way home about speaking with Miss Sharon on getting products ready, lining things out, and how she's in there tackling parts of it as well. Brought a lot of light to things for us, but all in all, it was a wonderful visit, good fellowship, that's for sure. And there's a couple secrets that I wish I could tell, but I can't tell. It's one of them I can neither confirm nor deny what was said in conversation. But thank you much, Mr. Russell, for the help on things, and
absolutely
just good conversation all around.
Minnesota Mike said, I heard some good news on gumbo. Russell is an amazing resource.
Ooh. She liked that gumbo. Miss Sharon did. Any of y'all?
Oh, she texted me today. She said her and her daughter went out to eat and went shopping, but she got a crab bisque. She was like, it was wonderful. I told her shrimp, crab, or crawfish. It's all good.
Yes, ma'am. I'm glad y'all diving into some of the
local stuff,
the cuisine down here.
Yeah.
But 99%, I'll say, like where we went the other day, the original Oyster House, you're 100% getting Gulf shrimp, oysters, crabs out of the Gulf right there. Everything is pretty well local. And many of the other business down there too as well. But that's just a well-known place to go eat if you want good
Mr. Mike,
seafood.
we're not high society.
No.
He said I need to borrow that H3. I've never been able to cruise around in high society before.
We'll pick you up one day in it. We ain't the highfalutin type.
Mm-mm. Not at all.
Now she will let me take it down a dirt road, so she's all right with that.
The only rule I have is don't throw sacks to chicken feed.
Yeah,
It was a decent car.
That's a big no-no. No chicken feed in that thing anywhere.
Mm-mm.
But
That's my only rule, y'all. Not trying to be difficult.
it's fair. Let's see here. Then we went down there yesterday. We had to go take some pictures for the fella, and many of y'all got to tag along with us. We appreciate for the early birds getting up chit-chatting. And we got done and moseyed on home. There's a chance they say that snow may make it as far down to the Gulf, to the beaches. But we just have to see about that. Getting down there that fall.
That sounds nice. Philip said he's fighting back against the cold. He took a load of mesquite wood back from the farm, and he's got a Stepler style fire in the fireplace.
Smells good too. I bet you that mesquite.
Yep.
I don't blame you, bud. Perfect weather to fire up one of them old wood burning stoves like that.
Yeah. It's
be
great
nice
if you actually have one in your house.
It'd be nice if we had one right now, wouldn't it?
Yeah. And we have one. It's just not in our house. It's in somebody else's barn.
Yeah, but it's ours.
It's doing us a whole lot of good with all this snow and 7 degrees coming in.
Anyway, moving on. This is a beekeeping channel. We're not here to talk about fireplaces or dishwashers.
You want to move on to your all important beekeeping news?
Well,
check them off so you don't tell them twice.
Yep, I done got through with the one here. We got past the snow, and we'll see if it's going to make a better honey run for us down here. I know I said last week I was going to yak a little bit about swarm lure, but we may just keep that for either at the end or maybe next week or something like that, because I got to digging around on some other stuff and found in the bee journal. That was pretty interesting.
I'm not laughing at you. I'm not laughing at you at all.
Okay. But you go.
Mr. JW just came in.
Well, we appreciate that. We got a good little old crowd. Somebody said, Paul said Cameron was on, and I don't know if he's already gone off or if he's still going, but we appreciate everybody's in here right now. It'd be hard to compete with that dude.
Yeah, it is hard to compete with him.
But where am I going here?
Brian said, well, Brian, do you
Go ahead.
He's pushing buttons on the computer now, yeah. Now, Brian, he won the Apis last week, but he doesn't feed pollen patties. Don't we have a
we do have a sugar water mix.
Well, Brian, would you rather have the one for the sugar water? Phil's gone. He didn't know Cayman was on. He said, "Oh, he's gone. I'll catch y'all later."
Oh.
He's out.
You're gonna have to turn that Wi-Fi back on for a second. You're gonna have to turn the Wi-Fi back on. whatever reason it shut off when it was supposed to. But
Imagine that. Okay, it says it's on.
it'll take a minute to load it. But till then, subject I know I had kind of going on to keep from just a whole bunch of silence a moment. But building swarm boxes. Okay. Now I just had this in my brain. Y'all bear with me. I was thinking beekeeper sense and bee sense at the same time, if you can stay with me.
Mm-hmm.
But getting these swarm boxes built.
Mm-hmm.
I was asking Hannah, I said, what do you think about this crazy idea? Instead of building swarm boxes that are, 5 frames wide, a 1.5 feet tall, we'll just say. What if we built a box that was only 3.5 inches wide and say a 1.5 feet, 2 foot tall?
Mm-hmm.
And the reason I say that is because I was thinking, how many times do you see somebody going to cut bees out of a house?
Mm-hmm.
All right. And where are they often at? In the walls of the house.
Between the studs.
Between the studs. All right. So the majority of your houses that are built, the studs in that house are 2x4, 3.5 inches wide. All right. Yeah, you'll get on the bigger houses, 2 stories and things like that, where you'll get into 2x6 walls to carry the weight of that 2-story structure.
Mm-hmm.
But that's 5.5. But I'm gonna say 80% of the homes are 2x4 walls.
Mm-hmm.
So if the bees deem it wide enough to build in there and build some huge colonies in those 2x4 studs.
Well, see, that's what Minnesota might just said. The larger swarms will pass up the smaller trap, thinking they're not big enough.
Even if they can, all right, y'all bear with me. Because a lot of times, what are in the walls of those studs? Insulation.
Yeah.
And I imagine you'll have bigger swarms go into the wall of a house. But oftentimes you got insulation packed between those 2x4 studs.
Mm-hmm.
What do the bees do? To make room, they chew that insulation and either haul it down and dump it, or take it out of the hive, or take it out of the wall and go dump it outside. So if they see a void big enough, a foot square, we'll just say.
Well, this is like Joey was saying too, that they have almost 8 feet of wall.
Not necessarily, because that wall is packed with insulation. So you have 8 feet from top to bottom on that. Now,
That's what he's saying.
I get like the older homes. I'll say 1950s and on back. Yeah, you didn't have anything between the walls as far as insulation. I remember I listened to the old timers. They talked about, and there was a couple of them we seen that the only insulation they have for walls is putting cardboard up on the walls, or using newspaper along the walls to cover up those nooks and crannies to keep that draft coming in and out. I'm just thinking on the lines of, I guess, a newer home that oftentimes are packed with, R11 or R13 insulation from top to bottom, but the bees move into a little cavity and chew this out. But that was just my brain working.
Pastor Larry said if they build in the wall, they usually build a larger space than the swarm box. Shane said I lived in places like that.
Cold, no insulation.
Oh, I guess so.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, Mr. Mike Conley said there were several videos and a book written on the best space size for swarm traps. 5 frames a deep bottom was their recommended size.
5 frames of deep bottom. So that's where's Lee at when you need him?
Okay. Philip said, I don't think they move in if there's not already a void. They may move some after they move in.
Mm-hmm.
Let's
Gotcha.
see. Mike said, please don't do that. Rodney and Joey have been great examples. You'll definitely lose larger swarms. DC said, keep it simple.
Okay. Gotcha.
Your brain's working overdrive, darling.
Well, like I said, it was just a thought that popped in my head, and I was like, they're in 2x4 walls. So why do I got to be these wider boxes? The depth, okay, I get that, because they're going to want to expand and go downward more. But undoubtedly, the science is ahead of me, and
way ahead.
the books is out there.
Let's see. Mr. Dan said, what size box is easier to haul down a ladder, a deep 5 or a tall 3?
That's a good
Neither.
point.
I have 1 made out of deeps, and I have 3 or 4 that are medium or smaller.
Which one's your best luck? Or what's your best configuration, I guess?
Mm-hmm.
Because undoubtedly it sounded like
None.
Or if nothing else, we could try Tom's trick. Tom says it works very well for him. What's he saying? Blue totes and something?
Tom Seeley says about the size of a 10 frame box, I think a double 5 nuke space is the way to go. I use a double stack 4 and catch a bunch.
Okay.
Joey said he ain't going on no ladder. He can reach all of his from the ground.
There we go. That's what I'm getting, I think, too, because you remember what our 3rd year when we had so many swarms coming into the yard, we wasn't losing anything. This was what was coming in.
Mm-hmm.
How many of them what do y'all call them, y'all? The politician sign boxes?
The yard signs?
Yeah, well, it's made out of that same stuff. But the the Jester news.
EJ said Tom catches a bunch in his blue toes.
That's it. Yeah.
Mr. Mike said I stand on the tailgate of my truck. Floor plats? Russell Koopman said.
That might be it. Yeah. But we had them literally sitting on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
And you remember,
that was a really weird year, though.
Yeah, but they just come right on down and like right in those boxes on the ground and they moved in and it was good enough for them. But we had about 4 swarms to do that year. I think it was.
It was
But I don't know. That just got my brain to turning on things. But I appreciate the insight, so I'm not sitting out there going,
will it work?
Yeah, will it work? Or is it just a crazy harebrained idea that you've had pop into your head? What else was it? The swarm boxes. And if I can get to it, we're going to talk a little bit about feeding, but it's not going to be the typical sugar bricks, fondant. Uh, there is a small portion, if I can, I think it's on the same page where CC Miller mentions something about feeding a thin mix of your sugar water,
Mm-hmm.
but I got to get this blasted internet to work with me, not against me. Uh, okay, here we go. Here we cross your fingers, people.
Are you gonna push the right button?
I think so. All right, this is just a short piece, but I think this one was 1893 with old CC Miller, and a lot of people like to do his configurations and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But it says feeding bees for winter. The answers to the question about feeding leave one somewhat mixed up as what is best to do.
Mm-hmm.
Some advise to feed as soon as possible, even in August, while others advise to wait as long as possible in hopes fall flowers may yet yield. I cannot say for other localities, but in northern Illinois, I feel safer not to put off feeding very late. Sometimes the bees gather as late as the last of September, but often not. I think I would rather run the risk of taking something away if they are too full than to wait until late with the risk of having freezing weather catch them with empty combs or unsealed stores. This is what I thought was pretty interesting. He said, I generally feed as fast as the bees will take it. Now, this is C.C. Miller still talking. I generally feed as fast as the bees will take it, but I'm getting to believe I'd rather have the feed so thin that the bees shall take some time at it. If the theory is correct that formic acid is furnished by the bees through circulation, then it is likely that the bees will have a better chance by having the feed thin as nectar. What you reckon about that?
Yeah.
Then-
I'm trying not to hit the wrong button.
Don't hit the wrong. Something happens, it's her fault.
So I'm trying not to hit the wrong button. Um,
But do you disagree? I mean, I guess what he's saying is some people was talking about it kind of getting adulterated and being in there with your honey as well
mhm,
at the end if you have to feed going in the spring.
mhm.
But uh, on top of the bees having it broken down to the point of where that's just about as close to nectar as they can get without having to do a whole bunch of extra work.
Mhm.
What you have to.
I'm the opposite of you. I need to see it to put it all together in my head.
Want to read it back to you?
Mm-mm. That doesn't help.
Okay. Now,
I'm trying to see what everybody else is saying.
no bites.
What? Yeah, I saw where Philip said I agree with Joey. They're still talking about swarm traps.
Oh, have I moved on too fast?
Probably.
Okay.
Um, let's see. DC said that the super thin open feed faster than the thicker syrup in their in-house feeder.
Okay. All right, let me get back up here to my original point of
People forget a lot of the sugar syrups is burnt up in a honeybee.
that they're ingesting it versus putting it in their honey sac and transferring it back out
Mm.
into a cell to store.
Mhm.
But okay,
Next.
yeah, like I said, this ain't the typical feed. What are we gonna feed for spring?
Mm-hmm.
But what are some of the best things to plant for honey? Because where it drug me off the rabbit hole was I was looking through trying to see, okay, just besides lemongrass, if there was any other techniques and stuff, things like that in the bee journal that people was using to draw in swarms
Mm-hmm.
for swarm season. And I know a lot of people saying, well, doggone Tim, it's January 19th. What you're kind of really chirping on swarms about, but y'all, for us down here, it's really not going to be too much longer before folks are going to have to be getting on that. And I'm going to say within the next probably maybe about 6 weeks. And it's going to start cranking on up for us down here. But where it drew me off was when I seen this, it was saying what's best to plant for honey.
Mm-hmm.
So I know there's a lot of people that like to garden or try to do a little bit of extra to give their bees something to snack on and to produce some honey for them as well. But there are several people that left answers in here on what they felt. Yeah. And one of them was old Doolittle. Apparently he was one of the big guys like Day Dant and all them back in the day. But says the question, taking into consideration its the value for other purposes besides honey, what honey plant would it pay best to raise in your locality? And this is somebody asking a question from Colorado. But somebody by the last name France, Taylor, Doolittle, Harrison, Green, and Cook give their replies or rebuttals on this. Alfalfa and buckwheat, either white or, I don't know if I'm going to say this wrong, but Alsike or Alsike clover. That's mentioned many, many times in here, that Alsike clover, Alsike. Then you got buckwheat again, that same clover with other grasses. The clover again, and this individual, by the last name of man, says the Alsike clover is beyond comparison the best. And I thought some of y'all might get a kick out of this one here. Some fella named Pond, right up underneath it, his rebuttal was, I don't know, as I have had no experience in this matter. So he got his 2 cents in there on it. But the buckwheat again, the same clover or common white clover, alfalfa, the ass-like clover or sweet clover, linden, it says in the forest parking yards, sweet clover, C.C. Miller, buckwheat once again. And Philip, I got to looking this up. This was last year whenever we did the Ute. And we was talking about your honey having that just little bit of a taste of like a mini mint taste to it. And got to looking around what was out there in Texas and out that way. I don't know if this was any of it or not, but horse mint is also really good to plant for a good honey crop in your spring. But when I seen that horseman, it drew me back to last year, looking up some different things that what may give that minty taste out towards your way. Like I said, I don't know if y'all have any of that out there, or if you have it in abundance around where you're at. But with overwhelming being the owlsky clover, or however I'm trying to say it. Let me just spell it for y'all. Anybody interested? ALSIKE, clover. But I got to looking it up and seeing what the difference was in that clover and a white clover. And undoubtedly there's a difference in it. It says it has more of a V-shaped pattern than the red or white clover, and whenever it dies off, it says the seed, the head of it, turns brown and dies off quicker. But undoubtedly, that's a very good cover crop to put out for a good honey crop there in the yard. Now, if we can ever get some bees established up there at the old place, I know that every spring, them fields back there, that pecan orchard and all, it's full of crimson clover with I say a pretty good mix of white clover as well. But let's see, what is it? The alfalfa buckwheat is another staple crop that yields much honey, but of a darker character. White clover is probably the leading honey plant of our nation. Out here in Colorado, we depend largely upon the wildflowers of prairies and mountains. The Rocky Mountain honey plant, a sort of, I guess that's teasel, is fully what is the name implies and very abundant. But it's kind of some of y'all want to do a cover crop or plant a little bit. Give y'all something to kind of put out there in the yard or garden for you. What was? Let me get back up here a little bit. Comments. All right, Joey's saying the horse mint makes a good spice for cooking. A good spice for cooking. Horse mint. Mm-hmm. See, where was there? There's another one in here. Hallelujah Bee Farm saying they seeing dandelions blooming. Yeah, where was we at the other day? We seen a bunch of dandelions blooming around here already. We got some different peach trees, and two of them, they're the white peaches, and both of those are already putting blooms off on old peach trees out there. Now, I wish we had some bees in the yard right now to tell you if they was bringing in any pollen in the last few days, but don't know what the bees are bringing in around here right now, if any, on any pollen. Phil says I've seen a single one that ain't quite a trend yet.
Quite a trend yet.
There you go. Yeah, research when's the best time to do it. Absolutely.
Larimore loves your shirt.
American.
That's what he said.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, that's what he said. Capital letters, America.
Uh-oh, look at here. Joey says his grandmama used to cook with it all the time, mainly in all her soups.
Hmm. Okay.
If you got an old recipe, Joey, you know our email address. That'd be good. Try something like that. The old cooking. Because that's like, what is it? Ain't it some of the nettle?
What?
Some of the nettles that was originally brought in as a spice? Or the natives used it as a spice cooking, I think.
That or person.
I know purslane, because purslane's full of what anti-inflammatories and stuff like that for you. A whole bunch of stuff. Ooh.
What?
Minnesota Mike is a horseman, anything like horseradish. I don't know, but if it is, then I may be out on it.
I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know if I've ever messed with horsemeat before. That's a good question. I'm not let it down.
Yeah. I guess I should have told Lee, come on and help me. If I'd have known that needed a computer guy, clickety click, what's horse mint look like, or tickety tick tick tick, what's such and such look like. Doggone it. I told him we was going to regularly scheduled programming tonight.
Sucks for you.
Yep. So, doggone it.
Plan ahead buttons.
What man's busy helping everybody else do after we gotta love him.
Yeah, yes.
I don't want to burden him with my
Let's
shenanigans.
see. Joey said it's a small tree or bush. His grandma would dry it and grind the leaves for the flavor.
Okay.
That's interesting.
But
I wonder if we have any down here.
undoubtedly, too, it makes an excellent honey. Because I do remember reading that when I was trying to figure out what Philip had going on out there with, I think of what Richland, or what, Richland out there.
Nothing, Lee. You got the night off. He said, I'm back. What you need me to do?
Oh, no, you good.
Leave
I
him
just
alone.
carrying on.
You get the night off.
But I don't know. What should I say about it? Like hashtag forward.
That's hilarious.
Shoot, with this what cold weather coming in, or hashtag of firewood.
Seriously. Do you need a fireplace to use firewood?
Well, maybe one day.
I think the rat's trying to get one.
Driving them dogs up the one. What else? Well, did I talk about salt? Did I go there yet?
I don't think so.
Good. Let's see. Well, at the end of last week's chat, I didn't see Todd's message.
You got a new hashtag.
Bob must have come in here late.
He came in like 15 minutes ago.
Well, in the beginning, we said, what was it? No dishwasher talk?
We did not say that. You might have said it in your head, but I don't think it made it out.
What'd you do? Text Bob and tell him, say, hashtag dishwasher?
When we're streaming on the phone, I didn't text Bob. Has anyone ever heard of using honey to help treat a bladder infection?
Disclaimer, we don't give any medical advice, but if you got something that'll help somebody, you can share it.
Yes.
Go ahead with your answers.
I appreciate that hashtag, Bob. That way I don't have to do this 6-month reminder. Somebody else did it for me.
I can't remember what it was. It was a dishwasher and something.
No worries, Lee. He said, sorry, I'm back again. You're running him ragged on his night off. Trying to figure out what you're doing.
What does he want me to do? He's not even telling me anything.
Corn silk tea?
Okay.
I've not heard of that one.
Mm-mm. The only thing I've ever heard for any kind is the old typical drink you some cranberry juice and
I don't know. But I mean, honey's, it sure ain't gonna hurt you.
I've tried.
You know?
It helps with a lot of other ailments.
Get him, DC. Yeah, there you go, Dennis. That's a good way to say it. It can't hurt to try, and it tastes good too.
Yep. 3 times a day.
If he walks through here and farts one more time.
Is he breaking wind?
You didn't hear it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He is.
Yeah. Or go seek professional assistance at, what does that say? Urologist. Yeah.
Oh, man. I think that's my problem, DC. I'm happy anyway. I'm typing hi Sarah instead of bye.
So y'all take care, Miss Sarah.
Yeah.
Y'all stay warm.
You know what I'm trying to say.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not working right today, y'all. I poured apple juice in my coffee cup earlier. That's how bad it's been today.
Right.
Oh, there you go, Shane. There's your scientific answer, medical answer.
Well, the doctor's going to take, well, let me give you this chemical medicine versus what your grandpa told you would work back then. Because even like we've even questioned some quacks before. Well, we know this works, but what do you think about it? And you just get a dead stare. Or they tell you, well, I really can't say on this or that. Like, ain't you the doctor? Shouldn't you know these kind of things? Yeah, I mean, if I'm paying $1 million for a education.
No, Lee, you're good. He's good.
Yeah, I'm moved on. I'm ranting about the doctors now.
We appreciate it though, Lee, very much.
But I will say though, while we got Lee in here, Lord willing, everything works out. We'll be over there to see him pretty doggone soon.
Weeks.
Yes.
Hopefully.
And since JW done warm that chair up for me, we're gonna put you on Tom's microphone. And Lee's gonna give me full reign of Studio Lee. So he says.
I'm gonna bring an extra bag of Death Wish coffee with me, Lee.
Yeah. Look forward to that. Hopefully we can maybe kind of do like Tom and JW did. Go sit with Lee for a little bit, chew the fat, and on the way back through, just stop and say hello to a couple other y'all right there.
Tim can push every button. Lee said the buttons are ready for you.
Awesome. If he's a smart man.
Oh, you're a brave, brave man, Lee.
If he's a smart man, and we know he is, okay. What I would do with somebody like me, I would go in, if there's a turn the button off button, to where you could push it all you wanted to, but it wouldn't do anything. I would have that settings on all the way through there.
Probably the best idea you've had today. Yeah. Brian Baker said, please get in touch with me when y'all come.
We sure will, y'all. We sure
He's
will.
not far from Lee, are they? Him and Miss Kathy?
No, they're not too. I don't. No, not too far at all from when I was on the phone with Lee and I was googling Earth where he was and this and that, and he was telling me about where they were. I don't think they too far. Let's see. Get yourself again. Oh yeah, Joey. Here lies a Maytag.
Oh, that's good, Joe.
Look, look. We didn't even show this. Let's get off this dishwasher mess. All y'all people want to talk about
it, candy
this.
Jasper.
This is worse. Talking about mites. Every time we get on here, we talk about dishwasher.
Tell him. I think he needs a shoulder to cry on.
Look, I'm telling people something. Talking to the dog.
What does me talking to the dog have to do with you?
Mr. Russell Koopman, Miss Sharon was kind enough to send us to the house with some apple cinnamon cream honey.
That stuff is so incredible, y'all. Oh my gosh, you could hurt yourself on that honey.
That there. But I was saving this one for on purpose. Look, I must have made somebody mad with the dishwasher thing. The numbers started going down.
They go.
But he passed us off some hot honey. And I have not tried this. And I figured I was going to try it tonight to see what the hotness was of it.
I'm for that.
Give a little comparison there. If Mr. Russell is still in here, he can tell you what all he puts in it. But
he's even doing it backwards.
Send it in code. Yeah. You never know. Oh, wait.
That's funny.
Y'all killing me.
Hey, we sure wasn't laying on that beach, Mr. JW. It was way too cold for all that.
Lord, yeah.
But we would have loved to have gotten to meet up with y'all.
Oh, Let me take a dip of this here right fast.
All right, Keith, I don't know how you say that one.
Where's he going?
Mr. Russell said that's Minnesota Mike's recipe.
Woo!
Yeah.
And I'm not joking. That stuff has got a little kick to it. You want to try it?
Oh, no, dude.
Just get
Is it going to hurt me?
Yeah. It's going to hurt your tummy a little bit. There's a pinch of that. For the ones of you that like quite spicy. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's kicking in now. That's pretty warm.
It's good. You can still.
That's got really good flavor.
You still have a lot of the sweetness of the honey.
Ghost pepper honey.
Yeah, that baby is.
I don't think I've.
There you go.
Dude.
Get with Mr. Russell Koopman or
Let me let this out real quick.
Minnesota Mike or one or two of them if y'all want that good hot right there. I say.
That's warm.
That's running a close race to what old Spanky sent with that showing enough hot stuff he had.
Yeah. I felt like a tough kid now. I didn't cry.
Well, if I'd have read the label, it would have told me what it said, ghost pepper honey.
Dennis is rooting for you to eat a spoonful.
Ooh.
Kind of feels like a fire ant bite on your tongue. That's pretty warm.
And I'm not trying to dramatize stuff up for the camera over here. That's true. Yeah. That stays with you for a minute.
It does. My tongue's still burning. They said great with meats or pizza. I never thought about putting honey on pizza.
Who was that? No. Well.
Or who? Somebody was telling.
Pennsylvania, Darren.
Well, he did the garlic hot honey, though.
That's what it was. Yeah. Garlic hot. But yeah, whenever Darren sent us that stuff in for the youth, he he was telling us for pizza, and I was like, hot honey on pizza? But then, yeah, it was garlic hot honey. Mm.
Your fruit flavor in the heat? No dried peppers? That's what Minnesota Mike said. Do you like our fruit flavor in the heat? No dried peppers. Honestly, all I tasted was the heat. I didn't really taste any fruit.
No. The sweetness of the honey was there in the beginning, then real quick, it turned into, okay, there's some spice to this.
Yeah. Brian and DC. Yeah. I mean, definitely send it anyway, but we've read a lot on the bee venom and cancer treatments and stuff. Like that's how I got into using the bee stings to treat arthritis, was just mostly from reading about that stuff. So, but I'm always open to reading another article.
Absolutely. The two dudes we mainly read on was...
No way, Mike. He said one of our friends mixes our ghost with fresh watermelon.
Ghost pepper with fresh watermelon?
Yeah. That's interesting.
Let me see this.
But yeah, DC, I read a couple of studies in, I don't remember if it was Australia or Europe, but one of them was like within a matter of days, this person went from like stage 3 cancer tumors to we can't find anything anymore.
Yes, there's some very interesting reads on, there's doctors out there, but like I said, it's the UK and Australia has more in-depth science behind it. And there was 2 doctors that got together, I believe that was from Australia and Europe, and kind of bringing their knowledge together on all the science with the bee stings and remedy and cancers. From what we read, it says it's the only thing that them doctors have found that attacks the cancer from the inside directly and killing the tumor from the inside versus like we try to treat it and kill it from the outside.
That's it, Larimore. That's what it comes down to. The wonders of the Lord and them little bugs. That is it.
But, like I say, absolutely don't want anybody to get any false hopes on any of that, but go do your research. It is very, very interesting and mind-boggling. Why don't they talk about this here?
Mr. Mark Miller said his endocrinologist told him to eat honey with cinnamon every day to cure cancer.
Bingo. And what has it been, 2 years in a row? Mr. Marks called us and said, I'm headed home with good reports.
DC, I firmly believe in that too. He said honey on average will speed up the healing of a wound by 7 days compared to standard antiseptics.
Oh, I don't doubt
We
that.
put honey on everything. Honey and pine sap is our go-tos in this house.
Yeah. More so, I'll use honey often, don't get me wrong, but I guess my bigger go-to as far as cuts and burns is just a pine sap. But for the kids' sake, they get a pretty good little scratch or something like that on them. Yeah, we'll put honey on it in a heartbeat, and they'll be good to go in a day or two.
I believe it.
And I see a lot less scarring.
A lot less.
With honey and
Pine
pine
sap.
sap.
Yeah, they're talking about Bob Benny doing the video on stinging his shingles and leaving them, curing his shingles.
That's right. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Did somebody bring, when we had him on that night, somebody asked him about that, and he
I think so.
dove off into that a little bit. So, any of y'all that you may have missed it, I think it's closer to the end of that conversation that somebody had asked Mr. Bob Benny about that.
Chicken poop for chap lips.
Yeah. I tried to have one.
I don't think so.
I had to cure them right on up.
Ugh. I think I'll just stick with RTX Honeybee's lip balm for my chat lips. Larimore said I'll keep my chat lips.
Get that put on there real good. Give you honey a
You gotta go
good night kiss. Cure it right on up there.
Oh no. Anyway.
Yeah, take it. But
Jack.
how long we been on this thing? An hour and some change. Well, y'all hit the button. Y'all want to yak about something? If not, we'll go as far as we can. Where we been? We've been visiting.
Covered the bases. Good food. Good beans. Good news.
Yeah.
You're running out buttons.
Well, we hadn't talked. We hadn't cooked nothing yet, so we got another 30 minutes before we get into that. Yeah, old Jerry Clower. All right, Phil. Safe travel till then.
Oh, he's just took off after a skunk.
A skunk. You better get him. That YouTube dog y'all love so much, he said, just took off after a skunk. Yeah. So let's see how that goes. Maybe like putting on that chicken mess lipstick you just talking about, JW. He gets a hold of that skunk. DC, down to three. Three of your four Caucasians. Okay. Once a man came in the back door, squirrel in. Oh yes, sir. It'll be a tomato juice bath. Outside. Yes, sir. Joey. He could be shivering tonight. I hope that joker don't get on that skunk, to be honest with y'all. Ooh. What a bad part about it, all the local grocery stores done pretty well closed down around here, so like I said, may have to just go pack him a nest with some hay and one of them dog boxes and put him out there with them chickens tonight. Larimore, we would by the end of summer, our goal this year is to get back up to around the 18 or 20 mark and just get everybody established real good, get them built in. We're not so much worried on good honey crop, anything like that this year. We want to get our bees built back up, get them established. That way next year we'll concentrate on, expanding that mess and worrying about a trying to get a little more of a honey crop. But our goal ultimately this year is to at least try to get to that 18 mark and carry that on through winter of this year here, 2025 going in. But yes. Well, I guess he didn't get on it, so either he's. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
She said y'all smell like a polecat out there.
Oh.
Didn't get him though.
He wouldn't be in this house. The joys of having dogs in the country.
Well, I mean, we getting home remedies in case he gets on one. JW said tomato bath. Somebody else, I believe, said tomato bath.
That's all I've ever heard to kill that smells of tomato bath.
Mr. Mark Miller says, Tim, I sprayed my dog down with Scent-Away, like for deer hunting. And
what?
He said it did a good job.
Are you serious? I never would have thought about that.
So
I never would have thought about that.
That's genius at that.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like showing up, they get.
You ain't got skunks. Talk about count your blessings.
Hey, them skunks is when you know springtime is here. Are getting real close. When you start
peroxide? Spring's coming. It's just snow tomorrow. 2 days.
I'm not saying it's going to be here tomorrow. I'm just saying when you start seeing them skunks moving more and more and more, like we do, because what it's doing, nature is trying to make more nature, and the skunks is the one that comes out earlier and says, "Hello, my shawty."
Well, he ain't got to pee all over my yard to say that. That's disgusting. Yeah, I wish my husband would take care of this one before my dog does.
Rodney got one out there.
And
we can't say it's been
just
bumming on the bees because we ain't got no bees out there. Or to be snacking on them.
I wish. But no.
The only thing that's left out of there is any kind of bee is that last itty bitty colony we got out of that little speaker box that wasn't yay big.
But they long gone.
Yeah, it's been gone. They probably more like pork rinds right now versus gummy bears, what they were.
That's just gross. Really gross. Can I turn the internet off? Or did you?
I didn't turn it off.
That's why this is buffering so fast. Oh no, Brad. He said I have a skunk smell outside. It's the neighbor smoking pot. Brian Baker, Colorado Brian. I wouldn't have been surprised to hear that out of Colorado Brian.
Well, hey neighbor.
Well, I ain't never ate veal, so I ain't gonna be the one to try that mine.
What's up? Ain't veal what? Sheep? Something?
I think he said I hear skunk tastes like veal. Somebody tried and let DC said no. Just no. No. That's gonna be DC's word for the night from now on. Just no. Absolutely not.
I did not. If that's what it is,
I'd eat a rattlesnake before I eat a skunk.
Rattlesnake's pretty good. It's just worse than digging through a yellow belly brim trying to get
all the bones.
Yeah, through the bones.
No. I'm gonna have to be really, really hungry.
That veal had a whine to it, like people talk about, oh, deer's gamey and this, what have you, and that that lamb chop or whatever it was I had that one time, it definitely had a wangy taste to it.
Hmm. I ain't never eat a coon either.
I couldn't a couple times. Ain't too bad.
That's the comment I was waiting on, Keith. It all tastes like chicken. Ooh. Yeah, no. I reckon Russ Lyman's ate one. He said they do taste like veal.
Skunk.
Yeah, I'm with you, Lee. Deer and gators just about as far as I'm gonna go. Yeah, I know, Brian. Even like when I was sick and I went 30 something days without eating, it still never crossed my mind to eat something like a snake or a skunk. Joey says coon's okay if it's cooked right.
Mm-hmm.
All I know about a coon is Granny Clampett said load it down with sweet potatoes.
Yeah. That's why I've always heard the best way to cook it. We just rolled it up and put a whole bunch of
Oh, thank God,
butter
Russell.
with
I thought you was serious. He's just joking. He ain't eat a skunk.
it. Well, I mean, there are probably people out there that have. Some folks may enjoy it. The Lord, you hear about the things that people eat around here, and you're like,
Keith Spillman said his uncle's favorite was possum. I'm gonna have to be real hungry. I mean, real hungry.
there was one of the older women that used to live around here. Lord, she was old as Methuselah whenever I was a kid, but I remember often her talking about how the old people would eat possum. Now, I don't know I ain't seen the science on it, so, but eating possum cured hardened arteries.
Mm-hmm.
And
I've heard that too.
people done that for years and years and years. But I'm like a lot of people. I've seen where possums meander out of, and
He said a bunch of old timers ate possums. They'd trap the possums and put them up and feed them bread and milk for 10 days before preparing them.
get a little sweeter taste to it, I reckon, maybe.
There's some things that you should just save for starving situations.
Indeed. Indeed.
Yeah. Alright, I don't know what that is. Lutefisk? Lutefisk? I don't know what that is. But by DC's laughing faces, I don't think I want to know what that is.
I'll stick with chicken, beef, and pork.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've seen where them possums come out of. I'm with you, Mr. Mark. I'd rather have milk and bread.
Joey said, I seen where possums go. Nope. Yes, sir. Come out with a smile on their face, too.
It's disgusting. That ain't the kind of cooking you had in mind, is it, Josh?
As J.W. said, it's breezy.
Yeah, I ain't never ate a snapping turtle.
No, I haven't. I haven't had no snap turtle. Old timers used to talk about eating them gopher turtles around here.
I ain't never ate a turtle. I don't know if I can make myself eat a turtle.
But hey, a lot of them Louisiana Creoles and Cajuns down there now, they'll eat that snapping turtle up quite often.
Don't they do it in like a sauce pecan, mostly? That's how I seen him do it on Swamp People.
Mix it good, huh?
Real good. Mm. Even a healthy possum looks sickly.
Hey, I will say, now,
Man.
on the only defense of the old possum, we had the same incident happen a couple years ago, but one of the dogs brought up a baby possum. And I guess it had fell off its mama, meandering through the yard, but it was a little bitty old thing. And
No, Lily brought it to you, no?
yeah, I was saying the dog probably.
Oh.
And Hannah got that thing, and she nursed that little baby possum up, and finally got it up where it took to, some regular food and stuff like that. And y'all believe it or not, some of y'all probably heard this, but in case you hadn't, she had that thing litter box trained. That thing would go to his litter box, use its litter box, then go back into its little hidey hole, the cage we had it in, and curl up in its little blanket of hay and whatever else we had in there for that joker. But I will say that joker would go to a doggone litter box and instead of making a mess of his pen.
I get sick and tired of cleaning all the hay out of there. Yeah, we do, Stephen. Sheephead mushroom soup.
Mm.
Joey said his grandma used horse mint in her turtle soup and gumbo. I've never been told I was eating turtle if I ate a turtle soup. See how we tied that together? You so proud of yourself, ain't you, Joey? Oh, man. I was wondering if he is serious, if she really did that, or if he was just trying to bring it all together.
It was one of them Todd and eggplant honey.
You sitting here all night waiting on that opportunity, wasn't you, Joey? Mm. Oh, I cried my eyes out when that little joker died. I never thought I could get attached to a possum. But he didn't crawl in and out of no unalive cows. I know that for sure.
No, that thing was just about.
It's kind of like a little old lap dog or something.
Yeah.
House dog.
What did they say? A possum can eat 1,000 ticks in a night.
If you find the foot, you'll know what it is. You mean down in the pot? If you find the foot, you know which critter you're eating.
Yep, okay.
Oh, them was the good old days.
She said,
Yeah. I feel like that's why that rule goes so far back. That either you eat what mom fixes or you go to bed hungry.
Or don't question.
You just learn not to question what am I eating tonight.
Yeah, don't tell them what it is, because then they'll go, no, I don't like that, this and that.
Oh, I'd have been that kid.
Yeah.
You tell me there's turtle feet in there? No, thank you. I'll go to bed hungry. Oh my gosh.
It's like them some people say, oh, I don't like no deer meat. I wouldn't eat no deer meat, this and that, and I can taste the difference in it.
Yeah, while they get talking around a mouthful of it and have
Yeah.
no idea they eating deer meat.
Put it down in front of them, don't tell them what it is, and they're just, oh, this is good, what is this? Like,
now, see, I get if you cooked a coon or something right, you could get me like that, but don't tell me what it is if you think I'm gonna eat it. Not at all. Yeah, my brother ate his weight in hog head cheese, but I'm a pass on that.
I don't think so. I doubt John's still in here, but John, my buddy that was in here a while ago chatting, his daddy used to make that hog head cheese, and No, no, no. He got me one time in life trying that stuff, and I was like, no, sir. Mm-mm.
Everybody loved it, or all these Southern people. Well, no, Mr. Russell's a Northerner that eats hog head cheese.
Well, a lot of people back then, well, most everybody back in the day,
Ooh.
either in North and South.
Larimore said I can eat the hog head cheese, but not liver pudding.
Mm, mm.
That's a new one on me. I ain't heard liver pudding.
No.
But I'm not much on liver and onion either.
No, no. Ever since I come out from under my mama's roof, no more, no liver at all. Don't want it. I hated it as a child, and I surely don't want it as an adult.
Part of that.
But there's folks out there like my daddy was that loves that mess.
I should have made donuts and put that video out this week. Then we could talk about that instead of liver and hog head cheese. But it was corn dogs. My
Keeping it simple.
Oh yeah, hog's head cheese is a big thing down here. Y'all are all over the road with what you eat.
Well, I mean, back in the day, you stay on them hogs a minute. Back in the day, they took everything off that hog. Nothing went to waste on that joker. Between what you would get in your hams and your bacon and stuff like that, down to your making your hog head cheese, to getting your lard. Yeah, there wasn't much left out of that old hog by the time they got done boiling that thing down and getting it ready.
Liverwurst spread. Okay, I've heard about the blood pudding, but not the blood boudin. Never heard of liver and lots.
Depends on the boudin. I've had some boudin to where it's like, this stuff is terrible. And there's other boudin that I've had is like, this is really doggone good. Yeah.
Road pizza. Is that like a nice way of talking about roadkill? Oh man. So you eat all of this they're talking about, Mr. Mike? He said I eat that stuff growing up because we was poor as dirt. Crawfish boudin is good, but not blood boudin. So Philip said boudin is by definition blood sausage. Ew, no. Liver and lights was like the liver and lungs stewed together.
There's probably just been a bunch of nights I went to my bed hungry. Like, Mom, I'm sorry. You're gonna have to whip me. I can't do it tonight.
Okay, Mr. Mike said his mama would grind souse meat right in front of him, and I couldn't wait to get in it, but not no more. I don't know if I could have. I guess that's how them women learn to cook. If you can make something like that taste good, you have done something. And if that's all they had, then
But buddy, if
Dude.
you imagine if you had the grandmas from then and put them in the kitchen nowadays, what they could churn out.
Oh heavens, yeah. Great.
They probably laugh at you for turning on electricity to use a stove. Yeah,
What's your problem?
Let me show you how to do this, baby.
They cooking like old Bruce on the cooking videos.
Oh, you're right on the fire.
Or on the coals.
Me neither, Mr. Russell Koopman. They never tried no chitlins.
I know, Philip. I was thinking, boy, Keith's gonna get us back on track. Oh no, Mike. Let's see, Mr. Russell, did you see the chitlins comment? He said chitlins was something I never wanted to try.
I don't know. I just smelled them.
Joey said, nope. Yeah, put it back, Keith. We need help.
Let me get back to those two after.
He was talking about the swarm boxes, but he deleted it.
He probably thought it's a sinking ship now. You know, we're into food.
All right, Mr. Mike. Now I'm really like curious. You're saying she would grind all them parts up. So did it come out something like ground, like what we would buy ground beef or something? Was that like the finished product? Because I've never had anything like that. Oh my gosh, Michael. He said for supper, Mom would read the cookbook to us. My little sister about starved to death from being hard of hearing.
That poor baby.
More like potted meat, but gray. Okay. So then what, do you just like fry it up?
Put it and make it a patty. I'm just guessing. I don't know if that's what the case is on that.
I mean, I'm really curious now. If you grind it all up, I don't know. I don't know nothing about it. Yeah, I'm gonna pass on the chitlins.
Yeah.
Philip said I had them one time. Thought these ain't as bad as I'd imagined, and realized they wasn't that good.
Everybody I've talked to that ever eats them says you got to get on them when they're hot. Pretty well, as soon as they come out the cook pot, it's the time to get on them. So if they cool down, then nope. But like I said, I haven't.
Now you're speaking my language, Laramie. Biscuits and cane syrup. I can handle that.
There we go. Who was that?
I bought the stuff to make us some biscuits too while it was so cold.
Tom and Melissa last night, I think it was, asking about maple syrup.
I missed that.
And I don't know if they seen it comment last night, but Phil from 33 Mile
sent us
some, and Sean Bouters sent us some. Both of them was good. maple syrups. So any of y'all that's on the maple syrup hunt, we can tell you for sure, either get a hold of one of them two and they can get their hands on some good maple syrup.
Larimore, a lot of it did get destroyed because we lost the bees to beetles. And we do have some put up.
What's up?
He asked if all our comb got destroyed.
No, we still got a fair amount out there to get by with. We got everybody loaded up with eucalyptus, and so far so good. Everybody's
holding up well.
Yeah, the frames. When I say everybody, the frames are holding up well so far. So,
like Mr. JW said, Tom was talking about hickory syrup.
Hickory syrup. Okay.
Brian said somebody at Miss Kathy's work microwaved chitlins and stunk up the whole office.
They'd be like, "What are you doing? What have you done to this place?
What is wrong with you?"
Yeah. Put that person outside for the rest of the day. You've been ostracized for 24 hours.
I have boondockers coming in for the night. That's funny. He must have grand youngins coming to stay with him. Joey.
Well, you enjoy that time, bud.
Oh, wow. Gary Smith said my dad was a butcher. I grew up eating whole frames for breakfast.
Mm.
Don't ever microwave fish sticks at all. What? Oh, now that kind of sounds good. Mr. Russell said black walnut syrup.
Black
Isn't
walnut?
bad. Mm-hmm.
Never heard of a black walnut syrup.
I hadn't either. That should be an orientation. Steve Davis told Philip that should be an orientation. You don't microwave fish sticks at work.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Colin,
hilarious.
Oh, who's the clowns that gets on to you at work? If you hurt somebody's feelings, HR.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, Mr. JW said he'd rather have maple syrup than honey. I don't know. It's a close call. I love them both.
Yeah, it'd be a close race.
But I think I put honey on a wider variety of things than I do maple syrup.
Mm.
Yeah, this one kind of ruins your appetite, huh?
Now, I get on a hankering of that maple syrup where I'll want it for, a couple months, then I'll have my fill of it for a little while. Then once again, get on another hankering for it.
My word. Ashley and them said they have a town in South Carolina that has an annual chitlin strut. It's a big event. Hey, that Death Wish coffee's something, ain't it, Mr. JW?
That's one of them, don't drive through town with your windows down.
Yeah. Bro, I don't know how many critters can fit in this chair with me.
He said he drove all the way home on the Death Wish coffee.
Mm-hmm.
Well, didn't you say, Mr. JW, it kind of got you amped up there a little bit?
Anything you have to stay up when to cook ain't for me. That's a pretty good ground rule.
JW looked at Tom and said, "Son, we're northbound with the hammer down."
Maple syrup on vanilla ice cream. I have not tried that.
No. About the closest we it's either pancake. I like a waffle with peanut butter and whatever syrup.
Mm-hmm.
and
I like it on biscuits.
biscuits, peanut butter and syrup. I can sit and just eat all of that by itself.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but yeah, definitely good with some biscuits. And every so often get on the old sugar cane, but
Well, he said one more cut and he'd have drove to Canada.
just kick Tom out the door. Ooh,
Mm-hmm. I don't need any help.
he's yours again, Melissa.
Mr. JW is tapping out. You can have him back, Melissa. We eat fritters with peanut butter and syrup.
I don't know if there's somebody with peanut butter and syrup.
Larimore.
Larimore. That's just some of that old stuff that Daddy said he talked about they ate as a kid and me being little, which they was literally dirt floor poor. And I mean literally dirt floor poor. And he often talked about just that was something to get on their bellies. My grandma would feed them until she could get a little extra money to, maybe make a better meal or something for them. But, and I just picked it up as a kid. And like I say, I still eat peanut butter and syrup as an adult.
Now, I can handle a peanut butter and banana sandwich. Russell Amon's wife buys honey peanut butter and then adds more honey.
It was Mr. Russell Cookman telling us the best way to do that. Peanut butter cream.
I know what you're talking about now, Larimore. Oh.
Mr. Russell, I don't know if you heard him or not. When we were sitting there talking to Mr. Russell Cookman, he said that he just found it easier instead of doing like a peanut butter cream honey.
Mm-hmm.
That if you wanted to do something like that he found like the best way was to put peanut butter in a cake bag and honey in another.
Yeah.
Squeeze it at the same time and make it swirl in a jar like you would see peanut butter and jelly mixed together in a jar.
Well, we're losing them. Everybody's headed out.
Going to bed. Where we at? Yeah, we get close to it again.
Mm-hmm.
We done got in the hog head cheeses.
Everything.
Chitlins. Possum and potatoes.
Well,
Polecats.
Folks, quick. I'm tired of talking about possums and polecats. Ready to move on from that.
Yeah. What?
Well, we started a couple minutes early the other week, so we'll end it a couple minutes early tonight.
There we go. Let everybody get them extra logs on the fire. We got to close up the chickens and.
Yeah, it's coming Tuesday morning. Larimore is supposed to start the snowing on us.
And they saying all day, not just.
Saying it's supposed to
a little bit.
Steady snow all day.
Yeah. When they say about 10 o'clock in the morning, it's supposed to be here Tuesday morning, and it ain't supposed to quit until about 3 or 4 Wednesday morning. We'll see how it goes. We get something, I know y'all see the snow all the time, but for us, it'll be a big deal.
Yeah, that's what they're calling for us. Larimore, I think they said 5 to 8 inches was the official. Yeah, no, that peanut butter and jelly in a jar together was terrible.
Yep.
All right.
We'll see the snow.
Well,
all right, y'all.
Back out.
Yep. Let him go. Find other squirrel, huh? I mean, where are we at? You're so used to putting him on squirrel.
Mm-hmm.
Skunk.
He needs to do that instead of skunk.
New word, Jasper.
But everybody's getting snow and all this weather. Y'all be safe out there.
That's it.
Hope y'all have a good week.
Stay warm, folks. Stay warm.
Tell 'em good night, Jasper.
God bless you. Lord willing, we'll see y'all on the next one.
Yeah, y'all take care.
Well, guess that's it for today. See you next time at Gunline Bees.